Okay, I have a brand new effect for you today, and as you can see, you need 4 cards of each of the 4 suits. Okay, and we'll go ahead and just turn those down like that. Okay, and let's go ahead and just stack them together. Now, in an effort to mix them, we're going to use a relatively new but powerful mixing procedure. It's where you use the Klondike shuffle. I'm pulling the top and bottom cards off as one, but you do it into a left and right pile, and that significantly speeds up the mixing of the cards, and that is a true statement. Can I have you decide on the stacking order here? Left on right? Okay, very good. Now from here, we'll go ahead and give it a Charlier shuffle. And I can add a link in the description below if you want to learn that shuffle. More importantly, I'll have you come in here, cut it wherever you like, and complete the cut. Okay, now we're going to do something crazy. We're going to kind of repeat some of the same actions, but this time we're going to flip one of the halves. But you get to choose which half it is. Okay, so which half should we flip over? Left? Okay, how would you like these stacked? Right on left. Okay. And then from here, we can give it a Charlier shuffle if you'd like, or have you come in here and randomly cut it wherever you'd like. Perfect, complete the cut, okay? And then we can repeat this mixing. So it's just the Klondike shuffle, left, right, with random flipping of either half decided by the spectator. Maybe they'll want this one, that's fine. And then random stacking, okay? And then between those, you can do a Charlier if you'd like, or just have the spectator randomly cut, okay? So why don't we just do one more of those? But just know, as the performer, you can offer to the spectator to repeat these actions here as many times as they like. Which one should we flip? Right one? Okay. How should we stack them? Right on left. Okay, very good. And then we'll just give it a Charlier and a final cut by you. Very good. Okay. Now at this point, I'm just going to deal out the cards into 2 piles. Okay. A left and a right. That's all we're going to do. A left and right pile. Okay. And I actually have a written prediction off to the side here. So why don't we take a look at that? So what did I predict would happen despite all of this randomization and free choices being made by you along the way? You will separate the suits. Ooh, I'm not sure if that's separate the suits. Oh, which suits? Well, that's a good question. The clubs and hearts from the spades and diamonds, of course. Oh boy, what are the chances of that? So let's just take a look at these here. Okay, so this is the left pile, right pile. So why don't we kind of just reveal these? So did we separate the clubs and hearts from the spades and diamonds? Well, this is looking good so far. In fact, it's looking very good on this packet here. Oh boy, check. Yes, we got it. Okay, and then I'm assuming these are all clubs and hearts. Let's just take a look. And it appears that that is indeed the case. Okay, whoa, how in the world do we do that? Okay, this is using a relatively new principle on my channel. Okay, so I think what I'll do with the mathematics, I'll have some notes in the description below about the mathematical structures that are making all of this work. But let me just point out some key steps that are important for the whole thing to work. Okay, so first off, you may have noticed that I stacked the clubs and hearts together at the beginning. I think they're over here, and the spades and diamonds over there. Okay, so that's important. So if your prediction says clubs and hearts will be separated from the spades and diamonds, you need to have the clubs and hearts stacked. In fact, they can be stacked as a block or even mixed like this, but I didn't want you to detect what I was doing in the routine. So we just stacked the clubs, hearts, and then that got stacked on top of the spades and diamonds. Okay? And then once you do that, so we'll go ahead and just set them on top here. This first step is very important. Okay, so you need to perform this left-right kind of alternating Klondike. You're doing a Klondike left, Klondike right. Okay, so for the first one here, you don't flip the packet. Okay, so I know that you just saw us flipping packets a moment ago. You need to perform just one of these in which you don't flip either half, but then you can randomly stack. Now technically this is a cyclic packet relative to clubs and hearts and spades and diamonds. That being the case, you can actually perform a Charlier shuffle or a random cut. It won't hurt that. Now from this point on, it is in fact true that you can perform the same left-right Klondike dealing, but you need to flip one and only one of the halves, okay? Because if I stack these right now, that destroys the underlying structure. If we flip either half and then stack in any order, we preserve it. In fact, technically, it's still alternating relative to those two sets, clubs and hearts and spades and diamonds, okay? And you can, and then you, from here, since it is, quote, alternating, you can go ahead and do a Charlier with a random cut, and then just repeat that. Left, right, Klondike, flip either half, random stack, Charlier, random cut. And you can do as many of those as you like. When the spectator is convinced that the cards are just a total mess, just deal out the cards into two piles, bring out your written prediction, and watch their head explode. Okay, so if you want to see what's going on more deeply with the mathematics, take a look at the write-up in the description below. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.